Hazard. I'm going to Vienna on a photo workshop, and seeing as I have been traveling the world with my camera for 30 odd years, I thought it might be interesting to see what I'm actually packing for this street photography extravaganza. I've made a lot of mistakes over the years, and the first mistake that I've always made is this chap here. Look at this lovely big camera bag. Whee! Right? It's fat. It's gone all over the place with me. But there's two main problems with this for this trip. Number one is that Ryanair say that if I want to take this with me to Vienna, which is an hour and a bit on a plane, £40 for the privilege. So just save myself 40 quid. Ta-da! So this is the replacement. So this is a Brevity backpack. It is a camera bag as well, but its main feature is that this will fit underneath the seat in front of me, so I don't have to pay extra money, but it comes at a cost. It comes at the fact that obviously I can't take a whole bunch of stuff, which actually, if you think about it, is a blessing. I do, of course, need to take my clothes, so that's kind of a consideration. And to do that, I just kind of roll this stuff up. I roll it into a little sausage. Look at that little sausage. Put the clothes in the bag, add some extra padding, all that kind of stuff. Looks after the kit. Jobs are good. It's a bit pointless going to a photo weekend workshop without taking a camera. And that's where I made a mistake with my old camera bag. When I used to travel around, I would take everything. I remember going to Florida and I had like an old over-the-shoulder bag that had, I think it was like an A1 in there, a whole bunch of lenses, a Holga, a 500C with some lenses, 2 flash guns, a whole bunch of stuff. It was heavy. That bag was like properly heavy. Right. And I didn't use half of that stuff. These days, I'm a lot more pared down, both for traveling and general photography. I'm going to take this with me. So this is a 16 Mark II, a little 50mm lens on there because I know that the majority of the pictures that I take are with a 50mm. Right? Yes, I can. What if I want to do a wide angle picture? Okay, there's that possibility, but history sort of tells me that I probably don't. So in the interest of paring all the kit down, I'm taking this. I might take my 35mm. Right, so this is Sigma 1.4. So this is a heftier chunk of glass. Here in the kitchen, these kind of weigh about the same, which is no big deal. But when you're carrying this stuff around with you for days, it gets kind of heavy. So you need to have a little think about that. Right, so the lens is all pretty cool. Obviously you need some cards. Don't forget the cards because you feel like a div if you do. And then also some batteries. I once forgot to charge all my batteries going to Photographic Metallica, so the batteries ran out. And ever since then, I've made sure that I've got batteries and a charger and a plug, right, and also, importantly, the piece that the plug plugs into. Because nothing says noob traveler more like getting to a foreign country, picking up your plug, it doesn't fit. So that's all that stuff. Got my cards, got my things. What I would do is the same thing I used to do with weddings, is before I go, I would touch all the pieces of equipment to make sure that I have them, that they're in the bag where they belong, along with my tablet for watching YouTube videos, and also seeing all the comments, but also if I wanted to, I can put pictures from the camera onto here, muck around with them using this little chappy here. So this is like a kind of little card reader that pops it. So that's all the equipment. Sorted. Nice and easy. I mean, it can't be simpler than that. But that's just the first part of the equation. What about actually going to Vienna? Whenever I go somewhere new, I'm a big fan of using Street View as a little bit of pre-planning. Because as they say, prior planning prevents piss poor performance. So what I'm doing, I'm going, okay, let's just go check out St. Stephen's Cathedral, see what it's all about. So drop my little chappy down into the road there. Oh, look at all these people. Right? And this has given me a great way of checking out what this plaza looks like. And right in front of me, there's an interesting looking building. That's pretty cool. I like the look of that. Oh, that sort of imperial architecture. But, it's in shadow. I don't really want it to be in shadow. What time of day is this? Oh, look, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I know that possibly in the morning, the light's going to be on there. I have to check, obviously, the east-west configuration, all that kind of stuff. But it's given me a bit of pre-planning. But what's this? Okay, aha, right. Here's a building that I'm really keen on. It's a little bit more up my street, to be honest. And I can see that the light on there is doing exactly what it is that I want to do. So that's perfect. So real quick, as you probably guessed, I'm running 2 photo workshops coming up later in the year. Well, one's not so much later. One is in March, the 14th and 16th. That's in Vienna, which is what we're looking at now. And then a little bit later on the 23rd to 25th of May, I'm going to be in Boston. We've got some cool stuff lined out. Both workshops are going to start at the Leica galleries in the respective cities. I mean, that's pretty wicked. We're going to check out some Anton Corbijn. We're going to check out Robert Frank stuff in Boston. We've got some really cool things lined up to help you, become a more competent, awesome, happy photographer, which is kind of awesome what we want. Plus, of course, you get to hang out with me. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, but there you go. And also, 12 other fantastic photographers. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fantastic. If you want to join us, there's a couple of spots left. There's information in the show notes, all that kind of good stuff. And now back to the video. The weekends actually kick off at the Leica store. And the first exercise that I've always done with people on these weekends, just to get them used to finding photographs anywhere, is to go somewhere that isn't a grand thing like the Stevens Cathedral, but a fairly average place that people might not have considered to take images before. And this square right near the Leica store is perfect. I could see now, look, all those buildings, the cars, there's a mixture of architecture, there's some people, there's patterns, shape, look at the light on there. It's all fantastic. So we would go there and I would say, okay, guys, we've got 20 minutes, go and find 10 kind of cool photographs. So people might want to photograph the fountain, they might want to photograph that dustbin. It's a wonderful enclosed space. This is helping me plan the weekend. This is helping you explore a city, finding places that might be off the beaten track. I have a day to myself before the workshop kicks off. And I was imagining that I would go and check out these old flak towers from World War II because I liked the sound of them. It seemed like they're, again, up my street in kind of this very hard, angular, concrete lump. But now what I'm seeing going there, this is just one of a few in Vienna, that there's not really much. I'm not feeling terribly inspired by it. Now, it might be different if I was there in person, but I feel like that wouldn't be now top of my list. But as I was looking around the place where I'm staying, I went, oh, here we go, because I'm staying at the Wilhelmshof, if you want to join me in the on the weekend trip. There's this just around the corner. So what is this? Ah, okay, it's a fun fair, an event. So this might be a place at night if I was into photographing people and crowds that would be worth visiting. And further on, okay, oh, look at this. Look at this. This is totally up my street. This is a massively Alex thing to photograph. Now, okay, so what? You can see this in many cities, but this is somewhere new. It's fantastic. And I can find this stuff because I am just exploring through Street View. Make use of it. Oh, earlier I mentioned that this bag has another problem with it. And it is the fact that if I hold this bag up, which one screams photographer? Which one says I might have an awful lot of expensive gear in this bag? One with lots of fancy straps and things? Yep, right. So that's why I'm also taking a smaller bag. Right? It means I'm less conspicuous. There was a chap who is coming along on the workshop who said, look, this is a list of equipment that I have. What should I bring? And it was stuff like I mentioned with my trip to Florida, that 2 bodies in case one goes wrong. Right, okay, I appreciate that. many zoom lenses that covered every single focal length known to man, primes up the yin-yang, flash guns, all sorts of stuff. And I was like, okay, dude, I think we can pare some of this down. Don't really think you need the 100 to 400 mil at a street photography workshop. Right? We're going to be in an urban environment. We're not photographing penguins on an iceberg in Antarctica. All right. So it's thinking about where we are. What do we need to take? Right. Those aspects are so important when I'm planning to go somewhere. What am I going to shoot? Walking around in Street View gives me an idea. It helps lay the foundations. I know that because I'm running the workshop, that there's a general plan, but also I have a theme for myself now. I've spent some time and I can see what appeals to me in that environment, and I can plan my kit accordingly. And if I have less kit that I'm having to carry around just because on the off chance I might need it, that's less kit that could potentially get stolen, get me into a sticky situation that I don't want to be in. I remember when I was youngster, there was a article in a magazine talking about travel photography, and its sage wisdom was like, when you arrive at your destination, make a beeline for the postcard seller, and they will give you an idea about the must-have photographs for that place. Now, I don't know about you. I don't really want to take pictures that everybody else is taking. So as tempted as I am to go and look at pictures of Vienna or Boston or wherever it is I'm going to go and have done in the past, I try not to influence what I'm going to photograph too much. And I find all that street view stuff walking around is that balance between the romantic idea of getting off a plane or a train or a boat and just letting the environment guide you where it will, that kind of, French philosophy thing that totally slips my mind right now, where the city will show you what it wants to show. I mean, I'm in a hurry, right? I don't want to photograph in a hurry. I don't want to be in a hurry, but I've had 4 days. So the more time that I can spend not worrying about the gear or what my choices are, just letting the city open itself up to me so I can have a better connection with it, but also not just randomly walking around, makes the best use of that time. I think it's probably the most important aspect that I've learned over the 30 odd years, that I've been traveling around with my camera, is that you don't have as much time as you think when you are out photographing and just wandering aimlessly. There needs to be some planning. It doesn't mean that you're locking off a creativity aspect or something by having a very rigid structure or deciding you want to go to certain places. It actually has the opposite effect. Having minimal gear, having a clear idea of where it is you want to go, having a clear idea of what appeals to you about this city makes the platform far more solid for you to then just go, hey, I've got a basis, and now I can let the magic stuff happen. If you're interested in joining me in Vienna or Boston, there's links in the show notes, things like that. We are almost full on both of these events. It's very limited numbers of people because not only do I, spend some time, walk around, show you guys and teaching you about how to see the world with more of a photographer's eye, to pay attention to things miss, but also spending one-to-one time with people. That's why there's only 15 people, right? Because you get a chance to have a chat, to talk about, not the lens choices and stuff, but what you're seeing, what you're connecting with, making your photographs feel totes awesome, as the kids want to say. Anyway, I hope to see you there. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.